Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Leah and I'm back with another video. As you can see by the title of this video, today's Storytime Sunday is just a little bit different. Today we're actually going to be doing a wig install while I tell you guys a story. So actually I found it to be a little bit difficult to install the wig and tell a story at the same time, and I wanted to give you guys an authentic experience for both parts. So what I decided to do instead was install the wig and then tell you guys a story. So I hope you enjoy it. So the wig in today's video was sent to me by Modern Show Hair Mall. The name of this wig is called the Pre-Plucked Indian Straight 13x6 Transparent HD Lace Frontal Wig. It is 150 density and it is human hair. I truthfully didn't do much to this hair in order to prep it. I did spray the lace with Got2b because I did attempt to bleach the knots. However, I was running out of time and I didn't have a strong enough developer, so I decided to nick the whole bleaching lace thing, and I opted instead for a lace tint, which turned out to work very well, and it was my first time doing it. So as you guys are watching me install the wig, I just want to say a few things. The first is I am not a hairstylist. I am not a beautician. I do not have a license. So I'm just a girl who's trying to ting, you know what I'm saying? And so be easy with me on the comments. I'm trying my best here. I typically do install my own wigs when I'm not getting it for a special occasion. However, I am still learning. It is always a learning process. So the hair seems to take well to a few things. Number one, I did say that I bleached it, and I didn't get a lot of shedding after I bleached it. And then I went ahead and I also washed it. After I washed it, it definitely bounced back to life. So that's another thing that's really good about the hair. It's extremely soft. I didn't get any tangles when I ran my hair through it before or after. It is also true to length, so this is definitely a true 22. And then the last thing I really like about this hair is how manageable it was for me to work with. The wig fit to my head exactly the way I like it, nice and snug, no slipping, no gripping, no none of that. The only thing I will say about this wig is that it is 150 density, so if you're someone who enjoys your wigs to be a little bit more full, then this may not be the wig for you. Yeah, you guys, so this is the end product of my wig, and I think I did really well for someone who is not a professional at installing wigs. Again, I am relatively new to this, so not too much in the comments. If you like this wig and you'd like to give it a chance, make sure you head over to Modern Hair Show Mall and get you a wig just like this. Make sure you use my code, that is Leah10, for an extra 10% off. Alright y'all, so this is what the hair looks like on me. Right now I'm just gonna go ahead and iron it while I start this story time. So let's just go ahead and get started. So this story happens back in high school. This is one of my high school stories. And I think I said this before, but when I was in high school, I used to date this guy who I forgot what I named him in my last story times. So for the purpose of this story, we're gonna call him Ensure. And I'm gonna tell y'all later why we're gonna call him all right, hold on. But I'm gonna tell you later why we're gonna call him Ensure. So when I was in high school, I used to date this guy named Ensure, and I gave you guys a whole like backstory on him before, but I'm gonna go ahead and summarize it for those of you who haven't watched that story time. So basically I used to date this guy named Ensure for about like a few months in 10th grade, and when we broke up, I broke up with him because I just wasn't feeling the relationship anymore, and I didn't think it was fair to stay in a relationship with someone who I clearly wasn't feeling when he had the chance to, you know, be with somebody who actually liked him. And so I went ahead and I broke up with him. Now, when me and Intro broke up, he was running around telling people that he broke up with me because I wasn't giving him none of the cootie cat. And that's correct. I was stingy with my cootie cat, word to Jocelyn Hernandez. At the same time, that's not why we broke up. First of all, here, bud. First of all, I broke up with you. Let's start there, okay? Second of all, you did not break up with me for any sexual reasons. So stop running around telling people that. Stop lying to the folks. That's not what happened. So for a while I was really irritated with him, but then after a while I was like, you know what? I don't really care. I know that I broke up with him. He knows that I broke up with him. There's nothing really to talk about, and I'm not gonna sit there and be mad at you. Like, it's not that big of a deal to me. So after like I decided to start speaking to him again, we had a transfer student. Now, let me explain a little bit about my high school, right? My high school in Brooklyn was in East Flatbush, and it was in the Winthrop campus. So if you're from Brooklyn, if you're from New York, then you're probably a little bit familiar with the Winthrop campus. It has like a bunch of like different schools in it. I think it only had like 3 schools or 2. I honestly don't remember, but my school was at the top floor and my school was only 1 floor. What I mean by that is that it was very, very small. So yes, we had all 4 grades ranging from like 9 to 12, but literally all together I think we had less than 100 kids in the high school. That's how my high school was. And when you have a high school that small, obviously it's going to be super messy because you're going to see the same people all the time. Whether or not you know somebody's name, you're gonna know of them and you're probably gonna know their business. Not me though, y'all be easy. So yeah, like with my school, it was very messy, and so I didn't speak to anyone except the like 3 friends that I had, and the people that I were dating, maybe some acquaintances and stuff like that. I wasn't one to purposely go around like trying to make friends or like trying to be in people's business. That was never my MO, and it still to this day is not my MO. So with that being said, we used to get a lot of transfer students because my school was so small. Like, it was just one of those high schools that would just like accept kids all the time. In my 11th grade, okay, my junior year of high school, we got a transfer student, and she is the person we're going to talk about in this story. So the transfer student, her name is going to be I want to call her Dusty, but I'm trying to do right by God, and so like I'm not going to do that. We're going to call her Chloe. When Chloe first transferred into the school, I had no opinion of her, as I don't have an opinion on most people, to be honest with you. When I first met her, she was just like really quiet. Just to give you guys a visual of what Chloe looked like. Chloe was like kind of short. I'm 5'7". She was maybe about like 5'4". She was dark skinned, a really like pretty complexion, and she had a really fat ass. Now, she had one of them like that the niggas was fiending over. Basically, when Chloe came in, like I had no perception of her. At first I thought like, okay, she was just like a really quiet girl. She transferred in from another country, and so when she transferred, you could tell that like English wasn't her first language. So I assumed she was just gonna like lay low, not say anything, like just be by herself and like rock out like most of the transfer students did. I started to notice that Chloe was gaining to like a friendship with this other girl who was from the same country that she was from, right? Now, this girl wasn't somebody that was particularly liked in the school. She was like very much a brown noser, and she would get people in trouble a lot of the time. She also had like a really bad attitude, so a lot of people did not like her. Now, I did not have an issue with this girl at all, so I'm just putting that out there. It wasn't none of my business, but that's who Chloe made friends with, and I think she made friends with her again because they were from the same country. Fast forward a few days in, and she's like, you know, settling into the school. I start to notice, of course, the guys are righty. I start to notice that like every single time I'm in the hallways and I see her in the hallways, there's always like at least like 3 guys trying to talk to her. There's one guy who is just like always in everybody's face, and he's gonna come up again in the story, so we're gonna call him Broom because the broom was right in front of me. So we're gonna call him Broom. So there's this guy Broom, and he used to literally be in everybody's face and in everybody's business. Like if there was any drama or tea going on, he would be the one to instigate it. He was very, very messy boots. So I started to notice that she was hanging around Broom a lot, and I think that's because Broom was giving her attention. And so that's what that was. At first I thought maybe like she doesn't even want this guy around her, like he's probably just forcing his attention onto her. Come to find out later, that indeed was not the case. Miss Ma'am very much wanted that attention, but we're gonna keep going. So I start to notice she's hanging around the guys more, and I'm like, okay, well, it seems like she's settling, whatever. Mind you, everything that I'm saying right now is an observation. I wasn't purposely looking at what this girl was doing. I wasn't sitting in the corner, you know, taking notes on what she was doing at lunch, what she was doing first period, second period, home. Like, I didn't give a damn. But because the school was so small, I would obviously observe what she was doing on a weekly basis. I have eyes, you know. I start to notice or whatever that she's hanging out with these guys, and I'm like, oh, okay, like, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. And then I start to notice something a little funny. One day I'm in English class, and of course Chloe is in English class with me because we only had 2 English teachers in the whole. So of course me and Chloe had a lot of classes together. In particular, we had an English class together. Now I sat across the room from Chloe and I could see her directly in my line of vision. One day I'm at the table, I'm doing my work or whatever. Everybody's kind of like doing independent work. In particular, it was one of those days where I finished my work, so I was just sitting there talking to my friends at my table. Ensure walks in because at this point Ensure was like still trying to get me back. Like, everybody in the school knew that Ensure wanted me back. I was Ensure's Nubian queen, okay? He would literally bring me breakfast, he would bring me food, he would bring me Ensure, because I used to love drinking Ensure when I was in high school because I wanted to be a little thick, you know what I'm saying? I was like 112 pounds soaking wet in high school, so I used to drink a lot of Ensure because I heard it made you thick. Yeah. So when Ensure walked in or whatever, of course he went to my table and he sat next to me. So he puts his arm around my shoulder. He's like, what you doing, wifey? What you doing? And he's just like trying to make me laugh, trying to make me, you know, giggle. So he's sitting at my table, he's talking to my friends, we're all laughing, we're all kikiing. I start to feel a burning gaze lingering on me, and I'm like, and Chloe is staring daggers into me. This bitch is literally burning holes into my shoulders. And I'm like, the fuck is this? I'm so confused right now. So I look down and I keep talking to my friends because I'm thinking like maybe she's just gazing, she's staring into space. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes people just stare off and they wander into space. I'm not thinking it's a big deal. I'm not gonna sit there and impress this girl because she looked at me like. So I'm sitting there, I'm talking to my friends, and then I look back up and she's still staring at me. It's not a regular stare. This girl is grilling the shit out of me. Okay. Again, I'm talking to my friends. I'm minding my business and I'm continuing the conversation. Then my friend next to me, she's like, yo, what's good with her? And I'm like, who? She's like, Chloe, this is really staring you down like she got a problem. And I was like, yeah, I peeped. And she was like, you're not gonna do nothing, bro? I was like, I don't give a fuck, because at the end of the day, like, I don't know what her problem is. I don't know this girl. I don't know anything about this girl. Why would she be staring at me like that? I'm not here to start none of this shit with none of you. So I'm sitting down minding my business or whatever, and then I finally start to get irritated because it's going on 15 minutes now and this girl is dead just looking at me. First of all, you bored bitch. It don't make no sense. If you have something to say, just say that shit and say it with your chest. So now, like, I'm like getting irritated, so I look back up at her and now we're just having a staring match. Because one thing about me, I'm not an instigator. I don't start stuff, but what you're not going to do is try to punk me. I'm nobody's punk, so that's what we're not going to do. So as soon as she noticed that I'm staring back at her, she kind of like just giggled a little bit, and then she started talking back to the girl who I said that nobody liked. So I'm like, cool, noted, but I'm not gonna say anything. So I keep going or whatever, and I'm like, as the class is passing by, I'm getting irritated because I'm wondering what this girl's problem is. The day finishes, I'm going about my business. The next day now, I'm in gym class. As I'm in gym class, across from me, I see that Chloe is talking to Ensure. Again, I'm not thinking nothing of it because that's not my man. I really don't care. She could talk to whoever she wants to talk to. She's talking to him. She's like laughing. She's whoa. She's really enjoying herself. She's very enthralled by this conversation. And I'm like, oh, okay. Just giggling. Okay, cool. No problem. Like, it's no beef no more. It's no beef. All right. So she's talking to Ensure. She's giggling. She's laughing. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let me mind my business once again. Ensure, of course, gets up and he comes across from the gym and he sits down next to me and he puts his arm around my shoulder like he normally does. Again, Chloe is staring me the down like she got a problem, and at this point I turn to Ensure and I'm like, yo, what's good with her? He's like, what's good with who? I said, Chloe. She's been staring me down like this ever since yesterday, and I don't know what her problem is. Like, did she say something to you? Like, did you say something to her? Did I do something? So he was like, oh, I don't know. Like, I don't know what her problem is. I know you didn't do anything because you don't do nothing to nobody. You just mind your business. So again, I'm ignoring it. Now, one day, right? One day I'm in, and of course, like, this is like consequential. Is that the right word? What I meant to say is that, of course, this is like happening in a sequence. So the next day goes by, let's say, or like 2 days or whatever. And now I'm in my global history class. I'm in my global history class and I am talking to like some classmates of mine. So now my friend comes up to me and he's like, yo. So I was like, what happened? He was like, yo, Chloe does not like you.
I'm like, what did he say fuck me for?
I was like, why? What happened? Like, I didn't do nothing to her. He was like, I don't know what happened, but she does not like you at all. Anytime we see you in the hallway, anytime I'm like talking to her or whatever, and she sees you or your name comes up, she immediately has an attitude. I brought up your name in a conversation the other day because of the joke we made, and this looks so irritated. And so I asked her what her problem is and why like she was looking like that, and she was like, I don't like her. I don't like that. Again, why you fuck me for? What did I do? What the hell? So I'm like, this girl is weird as fuck. Like, you really came to school that I was already in. First of all, you on my turf. Like, let's not get it twisted. You on my stomping grounds. The so she came to my school and wanted to act a fool with me unprovoked for no reason. Unbeknownst to me, there was a reason this girl did not like me. There was a complete reason why, and it was the reason was weird still, but she made it seem like I did something to her. I'm the one who instigated the problem with her. It wasn't until one day I'm in my chemistry class. I'm in class and I'm chilling. I remember this day specifically because this was the day that our chemistry teacher taught us how to make ice cream. Everybody has that day in their chemistry high school class where like their teacher teaches them how to make ice cream. That was the day. So of course, as I sit down, I noticed that what did I call him? Blockhead? What did I call him? Broom. Yes, Broom. So I noticed that Broom and Short and Chloe are sitting at a table next to me, and I'm sitting at one table with my friends. Of course, I'm not thinking anything of it. I'm just sitting there, I'm chopping it up with my bitches. Like, I really didn't come here for this girl at all. So as we're eating our ice cream or whatever, we're all kikiing, we're all talking to each other. I hear Broom start a conversation. Now, he started this conversation with kind of like everybody in the class, but he was mainly talking to Chloe. I first heard him ask Chloe something crazy like, oh, like, how many bodies you got? You know, childish high school boy shit. How many bodies you got? As if that fucking matters. But anyway, he was like, yeah, how many bodies you got? And she's like laughing, she's giggling. She's like, that's none of your business, Broom. That's none of your business. Then he asked her, you like sucking? What Chloe did instead was giggle. And as she's giggling, I kind of got like this sense of like uneasiness over me because I'm one of those people that are like very in tune to my surroundings, and I'm very in tune to people's energies. So as soon as she giggled, I knew this bitch was trying to start some shit with me. Immediately, I knew she was trying to start some shit with me. She giggles, she turns her chair, she looks directly at me, and she says, ask Ensure. Ask Ensure what? Ask him what? Ask him what? So now that I know that she's looking at me, I turn around, I'm like, me? She's like, yeah, ask Ensure. And I'm like, ask Ensure what? And she's like, ask Ensure if I like to, you know. So I'm like, bitch, that's none of my fucking business. Why? What do you mean ask Ensure? And then she was like, she was just laughing. She was like, now Ensure over there, but I don't know. I don't know what she, that you shut up, hoe.
Shut up, bro. Shut up, my nigga. Shut up.
Like, literally, he's literally so flabbergasted that she said some shit like that because he didn't know that it was gonna come. Obviously, I did not expect that either. So everybody in the classroom now was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, Chloe gangster, da-da-da. You thought you ate?
Relax.
You thought you ate? So I turned around to Miss Chloe and I was like, girl, whatever you put in your mouth is none of my business. Just know that I never did no shit like that, and I'm still that. So don't even. Whatever you did to him was quick satisfaction for him. Whatever he does for me is to satisfy me. The motherfucking HBIC. don't ever in your life. Because why would you think that you doing something sexual for him makes you like, gives you a one-up on me? It doesn't. Not only does it not give you a one-up on me, but I don't want him. He knows I don't want him, and everybody else knows I don't want him no more after this point, because he was running his mouth talking shit about me. In fact, he told everybody he broke up with me because I wasn't giving him none. You want a cookie? It don't make no sense. Like, it was just the weirdest shit I ever seen in my life. Come to find out, Chloe was actually messing with Ensure. So she and him were actually like, you know, getting intimate or whatever the case is. And she just didn't like the fact that he was still stuck on me so heavy. She thought that he was gonna give her special attention. No, still that girl. Still that girl. I guess she thought that he was gonna give her attention or whatever. It never happened, and that's why she was irritated. This girl did not like me at all. For the rest of the time that we were in high school together, she still didn't like me. But at the end of the day, that's really none of my business. Like, you don't have to like me. I don't give a damn about none of that shit. But if you're gonna run your mouth, run it to my face or keep it on the playground. Yeah. So that was that with that goofy. We really didn't have anything else to talk about. Oh, sidebar. So as we got to know Chloe a little bit more, especially like during the school year and like the next school year, she fell out with the girl that nobody liked. When we asked the girl why she wasn't friends with her no more, she was like, she's a hoe. Chloe's a hoe. Like, I don't want to be around nobody like that because people start looking at me funny. I'm not here for none of So yeah, that's the end of the story with me and Chloe. Like, she was just really weird, and it was just one of those instances in high school where like I really noticed that sometimes women be on some weird ass shit. Like, they do be on some weirdo shit. You're beefing with yourself, because I didn't even know you had a problem with me. So this silent beef is just weird as it's just weird. So yeah, that's the end of my story. I know that this was probably a quick one, but it's a story that I thought to tell you guys because I was on TikTok the other day and I saw like there was a trend going around of girls basically like posting pictures of other people's boyfriends just to say that they had them or they slept with them, whatever the case is. What do you gain from that, white hole? What do you gain from that? What are we supposed to do with this information? It's just so weird. Like, I hate when women do that to other women. Like, you're trying to be funny. You're really trying to be funny. And when it happened to you, it's gonna be hilarious. Yeah. Of course, all the details on this hair will be listed down below. Let me know how you guys thought that I did on this install. Let me know what you guys think about the hair. Let me know what you guys think about the story. And like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to join the gang. Follow me on all my socials. That is TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. That is in the outro and also in the description box down below. Call me, beat me if you wanna reach me. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.
Shout out to everybody. I had fun.